The VCure may be the most hyped product of 2026, late 2025 potentially, and I got one of those a little bit early, but I didn't necessarily have anything harvested at the time, so it took me a little bit longer to actually try it out. But now I've finally harvested something. I've dried and cured in the VCure. I tried 3 different methods to see if this actually hit like my own personal one does, and that was being dried and cured in the grow tent itself, and also dried and cured in a VCure. So in this video, I'm going to give my final review on the VCure to see if it was really worth purchasing, and if this technology is actually something that's game changing, or something that you need as a home grower, or if it's just hype. Stay tuned. So if you're new here, my name is Rob and we talk all things herb. Today in particular, we're going to be trying out the VCure. We're going to see if it's really working as they advertise and if it's something that's worth grabbing or not. And me personally, I'm trying to be more of a frugal grower over time, and even when I get free stuff, if it's too expensive, I barely even want it in my garden. But in this case, it's something that I feel really makes sense for a lot of people who are struggling with the dry and cure process. Or if you're like myself and you're giving up a tent, sacrificing your perpetual grow a couple of weeks so that way you can get that dry and cure in. So I wanted to try it out, but I also wanted to put it against the way that I normally dry and cure. So what I did is I had that skunk number 1 from AG Seed Co. Shout out to Todd McCormick. I broke this plant down into 3 different portions. One, I dried and cured in a grow tent like I normally would, which I have a video that breaks that down in the comment section or below in the description. Second portion I took and I ended up putting it directly into the VCure on the fast dry and cure method. In the third portion, I dried traditionally and I cured in the VCure. Now out of these 3 methods, one of them stood out, and this one in particular we'll go over here in a second. Before we get into it, quick shout out to the sponsors who help make episodes like this happen for free and also provide some awesome codes to you. From the Stash, I've been working on something game changing with the team at Growers House, and today we'd like to officially announce that Stash Nutrients is here.
You already know Stash Blend has the all-in-one additive that changed the game for growers. But now we're taking it to a full system. Introducing Stash Base for veg and Stash Bloom for flower.
These 2 products complete the lineup: clean inputs, balanced ratios, and a very easy feeding approach. It's as simple as mixing Stash Base or Bloom into your media, watering that in, then also adding in Stash Blend every week or 2.
Now Stash Base pushes strong structure, great veg growth, and overall stability for your plant. Bloom brings in the weight, density, and overall quality that every grower is after.
And the best part, all 3 formulas are designed to work together with simple, predictable, consistent results from start to finish.
If you've been wanting an all-natural nutrient blend that's easy to apply without spending a ton of money, this is it.
Stash Base and Stash Bloom are officially here. Get the new bundle or grab the bags you need. Visit stashnutrients.com today and take your stash to the next level. So, just real quick, this is a quality test for myself. Totally subjective, of course. This wasn't a scientific method. I didn't test the moisture or the terpenes in this. It was 100% just the home grower test. Putting these side by side, there was definitely one that stood out amongst the pack, and I wouldn't say it was in a good way. So right away, I wanted to start off with the method that probably will stand out to most people, and that's going to be the quick dry and cure. It worked as advertised. I had the plant done and completely dry within 8 days. Now, it finished, it was consumable, it was usable, but I will say it definitely did not have the terps that were popping and banging when I put it in there. And it wasn't as sticky and funky as I'd like, but it was definitely usable. It was dry, it wasn't too dry, but it was definitely fully dry. Now in this case, again, if you're trying to rush it and you want something, instead of tossing it on an oven or, you know, God forbid if you're microwaving or doing something crazy,
that's whack.
Maybe this method works good for you if you don't care as much. But the fast dry and cure method, whether you're using a tent, an open space, or a VCure or a canitrol, honestly I think is not the way to go. It just doesn't give you the best overall results of the plant, and it doesn't get the best impact of what the product can actually do. So again, this is useful in a pinch, but I wouldn't say this is ideal for top shelf growing. Anybody who's looking for terpene expression or looking for something that stands out, definitely avoid this one. But again, if you're trying to rush it, you know, rush it. The second method was drying and curing in the grow tent. So in this case, it was pretty easy. It's like I normally do. I've got a video that breaks this down. Essentially, I'm using a staged VPD environment. I'm trying to make sure that I'm pulling out the moisture from the inside of the plant and I'm not over drying the outside of the plant. Comparable to what you're going to see from the VCure, but manually being done with a automated controller. The Vivosun controller can take care of that for you as well. So if you want to shut down your grow for 2 weeks, it's totally an option. But me personally, that kind of sucks, especially when you're trying to do a breeding project or pheno hunting or just consume as much as someone like myself does. Shutting down the grow even for 2 weeks is 2 weeks less of flowering time. So, you know, more tents, I guess. Maybe we get more tents. I don't have any more room, but we'll find more room. Doing this method, I got quality herb, definitely what I was expecting in terms of the terpene expression and the look and the feeling and the effect overall. Now, this is what you're looking for when you're trying to dry and cure your plants. You want the most dominant expressions to be shown. You don't want to have to get something that's mute or just burns and gets you by. So this was definitely what works best for me. But then there was the full-on drying and cure method with the VCure, and this was a 14-day cycle. Now, honestly, this was incredibly easy. This was a set and forget method. The only thing I needed to do was add water to the bottom of the reservoir at a certain point because it was way too dry in the room. We were getting down to 10% humidity, maybe even less. We had the lowest temperatures in Michigan that we've had in 100 plus years and more snow than we've had in decades. So yeah, environmental impact is what it is. But in that case, adding some water totally helped and everything dried and cured really good. It definitely had the stickiness, the consistency I was looking for, the smell, the overall expression, and it was indistinguishable compared to what I had in the tent. So at that point, man, I don't know. It boils down to, can you afford it?
Ballers only.
And if you can't afford it, you could run it that method and you could end up getting something that's going to help save you many harvests, because I know plenty of people who've screwed up harvests from just drying and curing, and unfortunately it's more common than you think, especially for newer growers. Now the verdict would be in on which was the best method, and I'd say it was a tie between the tent and the VCure. Overall, not doing the fast method is the way to go. If you're desperate for some smoke, that may be good for you, but honestly I think it's just going to ruin your end product and you may as well just speed dry it in a tent at that point. However, you can get some decent results if you have some crazy terpy product, I guess. In this case, the skunk one was good, but this phenotype was not the keeper for me. I'm still looking and still hunting for that if you're wondering about the updates, or if you want to actually see how I consumed it or the overall review. I did that over on Twitch Live because YouTube's been a little harsher on our plant than ever. So I don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta pivot. You never quit it. But I will say that this is definitely not a unit that's designed for large grows. If you're somebody who's running 12 plants or more and you're pulling them all at once, this is definitely not going to be for you. You're going to want a whole tent. You're going to sacrifice your tent to dry everything up and be able to get the best results that you can. But in that case, grab a quality controller. You can get them from Vivosun, discount code CLtv or CLtv Watch, or any of your other favorite brands, and just dial in that VPD to make sure that you're kind of following that process of slowly tapering off and not over drying or sucking out the moisture too fast. I'd say this is really ideal for somebody who's in a perpetual grow, a small to medium sized grower, and somebody who's looking to speed up that process without sacrificing the terps and overall quality. Now, using it correctly makes all the difference in the world. Again, I pushed it to 3 pounds instead of 2.5, and maybe that was too much in the summertime, but in the winter with the humidity levels so low, no problem at all. Now you can store 5 pounds of dry flower into this, and that's definitely ideal for a lot of us home growers. I'm not usually keeping 5 pounds on a regular basis around because I consume like that.
Really high.
I've got family members that I also give some to, and friends and colleagues and everybody. So at that point, 5 pounds is ideal. So again, final verdict, I'd say the fast mode, it speeds it up, it gets things done, but it's not quality. The standard mode definitely works well and it's going to get the job done. You're going to be able to get the quality that you expect from a proper dry and cure. However, the price point to be able to get one of these, it's not cheap, but most things that are quality aren't. Luckily, it seems to be more of a technology that's being used and utilized amongst the community, so maybe things will change. And maybe they'll have a size increase so we can have a larger unit without an exuberant price increase. And I just want to say, the VCure does not outperform proper drying and curing. It doesn't. However, it can completely automate it. It can make it way easier and foolproof. And that's my biggest takeaway. What do you guys think? Is this worth grabbing? Is there an alternative method that works better? Or maybe, you already grabbed one and let me know what you think below. Now, if you want to know more about this product, check out this video up here. Until then, thanks for watching. You guys have a great one.